So we got some devastating news yesterday, and it shook Bachelor
Yeah.
Nation to its core. Bachelor in Paradise, king and queen of last season on the beach, Brandon and Serene have broken up. They did a joint statement on Instagram, and they said, after many months, today we have decided to end our engagement. We have tried to work it out privately on our relationship, which has been incredibly challenging in the public eye. This has been immensely hard to accept and painful as there is a lot of love between the two of us. We are deeply hurting and can only ask that there be no hate. The best path for us at this time is to try to move forward and heal from this as individuals. Now, I gotta ask, did you see this breakup coming?
Girl, no, not at all. I was like, there's no way Brandon and Serene break up. I think we said it here on the panel before. Like, if Brandon and Serene don't make it in Bachelor Nation, like, everyone is doomed. Like, everyone in the future is just doomed because on the beach, they were so perfect together. Off screen, they seemed like so solid, so like perfect for each other, so healthy as well. I saw a podcast with them on Taylor Lautner and his wife Taylor's podcast recently, maybe in like the last 2 months, and they just seemed like they were just doing really well. I think I had one kind of like haven't seen them post together in a long
Mm.
time. And I remember it was maybe 2, 3 days ago. I was like, oh, they kind of aren't really posting as much as they maybe were before together. But I was like, wait, well, they just went to Coachella together, so they're good. Or I kind of just gave these
Exactly.
excuses because I was just like, no, not Brandon and Serene, like never them. So I mean, I'm just like, I want to respect them, but also I'm like, I need answers because this just doesn't make sense to me. I don't know. What do you make of their statement?
Yeah, I mean, I definitely heard rumblings on social media, but Coachella kind of made my
Okay.
worries go away because once we saw them a few weeks ago, I was like,
Right.
okay, cool. Their caption is interesting. I mean, it seems like they're referring to almost like it's
Mhm.
been like a long drawn out breakup, but I mean,
Right.
it's only been a few weeks since we saw them like together, so it's not like they've been fully
I
separated
know.
for months, as they said. You know what I mean? So it is
Right.
interesting, and
Exactly.
yes, they were the perfect couple of Bachelor in Paradise, but I mean, I've said this
Mhm.
before on here. I have a theory that really sometimes you need the hard stuff, even if it's not on the show. I mean, at least it was all a little bit
Mm.
butterflies and rainbows with them.
It's
And to
true.
me, like we
Yeah.
didn't it was a little cheesy. Like I've always been a fan of them as a couple and I really did think
Mhm.
they could make it. But I think maybe that's why I wasn't so like gung ho about the relationship.
Yeah. 1000%. I think I'm just it's interesting the wording. I agree, and I think as well. Well, let me actually first because you made a really good point about them on the beach. Let me just tackle that first before I forget it because it's just so good. I remember you saying that before with couples like Kenny and
Ooh,
Mari. They
ooh,
ran
you're frozen on me
into
now.
issues on the beach, and it kind of made them stronger. And now it's like we kind of will see couples when they have an obstacle that they have to like push past and get through, it kind of ends up helping their relationship and really showing them, okay, we went through that. We're able to go through hard things. We can go through hard things moving forward. So even like Abigail and Noah, or even Becca and Thomas, who we'll talk about, like they kind of broke up, then got back together. It kind of like ends up
Mm-hmm.
aiding to their relationship in a weird way. And I think for Brandon and Serene, they are a very extreme version of a couple that was like, I mean, it was just fairy tale perfect. And you're right,
Mm-hmm.
sometimes that's not always the best thing. And just that maybe where my brain goes is maybe the expectation of things to always be perfect was there. And then when there was
Mm-hmm.
issues, maybe they didn't really communicate very well. I don't know. I'm literally just shots in the dark over here trying to make it make sense. Um so yeah, and just like in choosing sides things, it makes it seem like, they're kind of getting ahead of someone taking blame as if someone did something wrong in the relationship or there was you know, mistakes made or whatever. Um So I don't know, but it's still it's weird because I felt like even when they came off the show, they were like, yeah, we've already moved in together, we have a dog together, like they were building a life together. So it wasn't like one of those couples that, oh, we still live in separate cities, and those kind of couples we can be like, we might see the writing on the wall in a few months. With like Clayton and Susie, maybe we were like, okay, yeah, they
Mm-hmm.
moved, but I don't know. Like there were always a couple of like, I don't know, we'll see. Um, but yeah, with them, it just seemed, I don't know, it really the pros weighed out my like doubts. That makes sense.
Same.
So
Same.
yeah.
And it seemed like they were going in the right direction. So it should be
Hmm.
interesting. So far, it doesn't seem like there was any drama. It was amicable. We might find out some more information in the coming days, or maybe weeks. Maybe they'll be really close to the cuff and eventually go on a podcast. I don't know, but I mean, I will be watching
Right.
that podcast, so we will keep you up to date here
Right.
on Shared News. Ooh, it looks like we
Ooh,
did get a
good
comment. Would Brandon
question.
and Serene go back to paradise? My initial thought is Brandon, yes. I think he's in love with love. And Serene, no. I don't know. What do you think, Kayla?
I think that neither of them would. I don't think that, well, because I don't know that the show, if I was a producer on the show, I don't know that I would be like vying for them to come back. I think it'd be hard for fans to root for, like, I think fans were rooting for them together collectively. I don't think, you know what I mean? I think it'd be hard for them to separate
Yeah.
and really let go of them not being together and want them to be with someone else. You know what I mean? That's from my
Yeah.
perspective.
No, that
So,
makes
with that
sense.
being
They're
said, I
like
don't
fans
think
as
that
them as a
either
couple.
of them would. Yeah, yeah. So I don't know that
All,
either of them
all
would
right.
really come
We've
back.
got another comment from Jess. I noticed he might have went to Coachella by himself. Now, I know I saw something with both of them together at Coachella, but it's very possible they did
Hmm.
not spend the entire time together. Maybe just making sure they were together a little bit to, I don't know, because they broke up so fast afterwards, so I question everything. But it's very
I
possible they
know.
kind of split off and didn't maybe even spend that much time together. We only saw the little bit that they did.
Mhm. Yeah, yeah.
But
It's
that is
possible
all
that
we.
they got back together and just to post about it to make sure people maybe who might have saw them separately also would have seen their post and like, oh, well, they did post together, so they're still together, just to kind of you know
Yeah.
clear any doubts or any drama until they were ready to officially be like, okay, we're done, we're announcing our breakup. But
I need
anyway.
answers. I need answers, Kayla.
I'm
So I
sad.
hope we hear some
I'm
more in the
sad.
coming days and weeks. And make sure you comment below, even after when you're watching the playback. I always take a look at them. Let us know what you think